Crimson Tide fans, welcome back to Bama Insider on the Road. We just wrapped up our trip to Atlanta with our second day of games featuring a pair of Alabama commits. We got to witness five-star safety Caleb Downs as well as quarterback pledge Lonergan take the field at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Saturday. Here's a breakdown of how they both performed as well as highlights from each of their games. Also, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Bama Insider if you haven't already. We'll kick things off by assessing Caleb Downs, the number one safety on the 2023 On3 consensus. Worthy of his five-star status, Downs is as versatile of a prospect as you'll find in this class. Downs took snaps at quarterback, wide receiver, running back, safety, and cornerback on Saturday. He also helped Mill Creek out in kickoff return and punt return duties. Watching Downs against Walton, his persistent pursuit to the football stood out. As soon as he diagnoses which path he's taking, Downs bursts to the ball carrier and couples that with top speed to quickly make the tackle. He's also excellent in one-on-one situations as Downs had multiple big stops on his own when he was the only one between the ball carrier and the end zone. Downs had to participate in all three phases of the game right until the very end, showcasing his endurance and elite conditioning in Mill Creek's 44-41 win over Walton. Even though he's a safety, Downs has a case to be the number one overall player in the 2023 cycle. He checks off all the boxes from a physical standpoint and matches that with a high IQ and team-first mentality. His head coach, Philip Jones, previously told us that Downs is the first one asking coaches for the film cut-ups on Sundays. Jones says that ever since Downs' freshman season, he's been Mill Creek's most dedicated player when it comes to studying film and is constantly seeking up knowledge. Downs did it all for Mill Creek on Saturday as he's done in years prior. He had an interception, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 7 total tackles by our count. Alabama's getting a good one in the Peach State native. Switching over to Lonergan, he was off and on in Brookwood's victory over Norcross. Lonergan particularly struggled for most of the first half. He fumbled the ball near midfield on a designed quarterback keep and also threw an interception. Lonergan was visibly frustrated with himself after the INT as he should have thrown it either ahead of his receiver or before his break on the out route. What we loved about Lonergan's performance, however, was how he bounced back. In the 2-minute drill of the first half, he had 2 key completions, including one where he stepped up and fired it only where his receiver could catch it and make a big play afterward. Lonergan got a little lucky on a tip pass that went for a TD as time expired, but his response on that drive was good to see, considering his struggles earlier in the game. Lonergan was high on some passes and made some poor decisions throughout Saturday's game against Norcross, but he bounced back each time. He looks poised in the pocket and is at his best when he steps into his throws with confidence. Lonergan doesn't have a dynamic arm by any means, but places it with nice touch on deep passes and has a good feel for the game. We also like Lonergan's athleticism and how impactful he is as a runner. In fact, Brookwood had a crucial 4th and 1 to convert down the stretch, and Lonergan took a QB sneak over 30 yards down the field to seal the game. Lonergan isn't going to wow you with his arm, but he's a smart signal caller with a forget the last play mentality. Both he and fellow Crimson Tide QB pledge Eli Holsting bring different qualities to the table, and they'll make for a fun competition to watch in Alabama's quarterback room. That's it for today's video, Bama fans. For more coverage from this weekend, head to BamaInsider.com and access our premium content for a year for only $1.